Hello everybody, and my name is Anday, and welcome to another video today. This is going to be a reaction of me reacting to somebody else. This is somebody being Matt Pat, as in the game theorizer, but this is going to be his film theory on the FNAF movie. So, you know, so I don't really need to, just say, like, check out his video first, then come see mine. I'm the reactionary person. I'm the one who's giving my take on what he says in this video. I am the reactor of the video. I don't own anything else. I don't own his video because he owns it, obviously. His, editors and such, people who work on it, go watch them, then come see me. See my take on this. My take being my own, because I own me and no one else owns me. So, this is, I believe, this is gonna be his first film theory on the FNAF movie, specifically FNAF movie, because uh, obviously he covers everything else FNAF on his other channel, which is Game Theory. That, if I'm gonna be a little 100% honest on, I have not checked out that many of them. Really, I've only ever seen like probably just. Okay, so first of all, I've known him for a while, right? It was all the way back in, I would say, either late 2013 or early 2014 that I really I saw his channel, and I clicked the subscribe button because back then he was kind of one of the, not, I wouldn't say he's not the more popular people, the more popular person right now about gaming, but back then I think everyone was mostly talking about him and a bunch of other people that were at the peak of popularity of gaming back then. I say back then, which is that's like 10 years ago now. Wow, 2013. Anyways, I think the first video I saw of him was either the Zelda theory or no, not Zelda theory. It was specifically the one about Majora's Mask. The something the stages of grief. That one where he did with Peanut Butter Gamer. Either that it was that theory or that the other theory. You know which one it is. Yeah. So, anyways, when he first uploaded that one about FNAF, I was like, finally he covers it, because I'm too scared to play the game, so let me watch this video. So that's pretty much was it. It was like all that back then, because even then FNAF had a big mystery element to it. Like there was newspaper clippings, the little details put around here and there, the phone call, whatever the phone guy was talking about the last time. What happened to him? Golden Freddy, remember him? He was part of there. Plus, the as the, how do I say this? As not misinformed, but as the direction he took in that first video was not the best, he picked up in later ones, I would say. Because he made a little comparison to something else, which is unfortunate. But, I don't know who said it officially, but it's obviously that it's not the case anymore. Because this is fictional, right? So then the FNAF 2 theories came out, then 3, then 4, and then so many other ones that I have not caught up on. I've only been so behind. I've only ever caught up on the game theories, specifically ones about the games, not the books, because that's kind of where it's all been about lately. Which, I mean, yeah, I don't blame him. If it's between the games and the books, what's really coming out in the FNAF, lore wise, is mostly in the books, because obviously there's the Mimic who appeared in Ruin. There is other bits, recently FNAF 4 just got sort of solved with it being about some kid even, who was literally just having induced hallucinations by gas inside of the FNAF 4 bedroom area. Those were really just tests designed by William Afton, mind you, to just basically turning little little what is it called, little it's those little statue things that you have and you put clothes on. It's the models, I guess. Models, right? It's models. I'm pretty sure it's models. Anyways, It turns out that was that game, and that's just basically what happened there. It wasn't totally a nightmare. It was just what William Afton, Purple guy, the Purple Man, was doing, which is like that's very crazy. It makes him a lot more evil, you know, because he put that kid through years, man. So yeah, I I haven't got up in the books. I've mostly been just in the games. Not even in the games. I've been just watching people play him this time. Uh, so like I read the first book. I will admit. I will say that I didn't read it like all the way. I kind of there was a thing back then where everyone was hyping up the release of the book, and then when it came out, some FNAF YouTubers watched it, or they kind of did like a little audiobook kind of thing where they would read what's going on in the book. So it was like Razbowski, it was Sadako, it was I think 8-Bit Ryan and other Ryan. I think they did that too. Maybe Infusion Z Gamer. I don't know. It was like it was the first FNAF book I read, and first like I'm not a book person. Let me just say like I like to read. I like to read stuff though. I will say that I like to read things. I like to read just information about something about my favorite stuff. I don't know. It's just I haven't been too interested in the FNAF. It's mostly because they're not technically in the main lore, if you know what I mean. I did have a little audiobook of the second book though. The first one was the Silver Eyes. Second one would be the obviously the Twisted Ones, right? And then there was a third one, which is the Fourth Closet, I believe. That one has sister locations. But I never finished it, which is unfortunate. I might do it soon. I own a physical copy actually of Silver Eyes. I got it like way back when it first came out. It was like freaking 2014 or no, it was like 2015 to 2016 because that would have been the area between when FNAF 4 between FNAF 4 and Sister Location came out, obviously. So yeah, it was that because 2017, I can remember 2017 was when Pizza Sim came out. So between then and there, it would have been around that time anyways. So yeah, he hasn't made back to film theory. I haven't caught up in his other theories about the games, FNAF, but this is his first film theory about the movie, which, if you know me, I'm very interested in watching, very interested in checking it out. Again, if you all want me to react to it, please let me know. If you want me to instead do like a little, spoiler discussion, I will do that. Probably either or. Like, probably just make the video and then discuss it later. Or I'll make the reaction and the discussion. Is that a good middle point? But, just let me know. What do you guys want for me to do? Because I want to do either of those things. Like, for sure. Anyways, I guess that's all to say. He says he solved the FNAF movie, which I don't blame that he probably did. As far as I know, this movie is going to be like super lore dense, like I'm sure there'll be a ton of Easter eggs for sure, like a lot of things going on. I'm pretty sure we saw an Endo head, and we saw also it was a sort of Toy Chica thing, but it wasn't like confirmed. But there was a FNAF 2 Foxy, the Withered Foxy. There was like a head that looked almost exactly like him in the back room. It was just one of those trailer details that I failed to point out because I am not smart. So I don't you don't want to expect the movie to be super lore dense, right? It's just gonna be a clear cut movie. It'll probably have, as I've said, many Easter eggs going on because there's a lot going for it for sure. So it's just not gonna. It's gonna be like the first introduction to this world, this universe, this FNAF verse. In a way, this is gonna be the cinematic angle that they're gonna take with the FNAF franchise. So they probably don't expect it to be as bonkers, not bonkers, but like as crazy as the games. I will say, this is not me being 100% either, though. I'm like at least 90% sure that's how it's gonna go. Because if they go all out within this movie, it's just gonna be a little, from what was said before, there was like a not bad reception, but like something going on where they thought it was too confusing or something. Which I mean, it's good. Confusing is where we are always with FNAF. But if that's the only problem, then this is gonna be a great movie. And I think it was like what, 180 minutes something. No. It was like 150, I think. An hour and 50 minutes, I think. At least that's what I heard. But don't take my word for it. So yeah, I don't expect much from this video other than good points, very good points, and just I don't blame Pat for taking a lot of things into consideration with this franchise, because what did it start on again? It was like an old Versus meme post back on like classic Twitter. He said, "Is this was a Versus thing?" And he put a picture of Slender Man and Golden Freddy. And like, what theory do you want me to make the most? And I wonder what would have happened if they picked Slender Man instead of Golden Freddy. But it just doesn't work out all that often. Actually, has he made a Slender theory? I don't even know. I'm too into FNAF. I can't tell. Anyways, yeah, I'm very interested to see what points he makes in this video, and I will watch it with good intentions. Very much so. I also have Freddy on my head. So yeah, let's get started. We're gonna play Film Theory by MatPat. MatPat's Film Theory. I solved the FNAF movie. Let's go. Boom. Okay, Google Meets.
Thanks to Google Meet for sponsoring a portion of today's video.
Sponsoring portion, yeah.
It's been so many years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Long have I waited.
Oh yeah, was that really when it was announced?
Finally, it's my turn.
Ooh.
Hello, Internet.
Oh, there's a logo. That's cool.
Welcome to Film Theory, the show that always knew that this day was coming. It's been over 8 years, but finally the Five Nights at Freddy's live-action feature film is set to hit the silver screen in a little over a month.
Oh yeah.
You know what that means? It means that nowhere is safe anymore from FNAF theories.
Oh yeah.
There's a FNAF cookbook releasing in October. A FNAF cookbook coming for you next, Food Theory. Now all we need is a FNAF fashion line that's infected all of us.
Nice.
Oh my sweet stars, what have I done? But for as satisfying as it is for Film Theory to take another toy out of the toy box at Game Theory,
oh look at that Freddy.
Sonic, Mario, and Last of Us in this year alone.
Oh nice.
In seriousness, we are way overdue for a theory breaking down our predictions for this movie. Believe me, there is plenty to talk about.
Oh yeah.
If you're on YouTube and you somehow missed the phenomenon that is Five Nights at Freddy's, how? Genuinely.
Markiplier.
I need to know your secrets. This series exploded about a decade ago, with every Let's Player on the platform screaming their heads off over the haunted animatronics hunting us down in the ruins of a dilapidated pizzeria. But while the scares certainly got us started, it's the story that's kept us going.
Oh, that
song. The series persist for as long as it has been its incredibly mysterious story told through scraps of information and obscure environmental details. Yep. 60 episodes later on Game Theory, we are still trying to decode this.
Yeah, that's so many. I can't watch them all.
Feels like there's gotta be 100 at this point. And this new FNAF movie seems to be staying true to the franchise's roots. Not in terms of the lore necessarily, but in terms of the cryptic storytelling.
Oh yeah.
There is a ton of information packed into the few short minutes of trailer footage that we've seen so far.
That is actually true.
I believe we can predict the entire plot of this new movie, right down to the shocking twist ending that's gonna leave you devastated. Here's the
Is that
think
so?
This movie has itself a happy ending with everyone smiling and living happily ever after, then clearly you have not been paying attention. So today, Film Theory
but I want that to happen. I don't want them to
been able to do. Solve this franchise.
Oh.
We're gonna do it before the movie even releases. Keep your eyes on your monitors, loyal theorists. We're going in. So
Let's
I think
go.
a good place to start with our prediction here is sort of laying out what we think the movie's trying to do with FNAF as a franchise. Just from watching these trailers, I think it's clear that this movie does not take place in the universe of the games.
True.
Why? This thing. I have played, watched, and read.
Okay, yeah, that's very fair.
Information this franchise has put out, and this is unlike anything we've ever seen before. Clearly, it's a murder weapon, and clearly it was made by the franchise's big bad, but why, what, and how is still a complete mystery.
That is true.
My best guess, and again, this one's a guess, is that it's a remnant extract.
Remnant!
To ensure murder victims have the most traumatic, awful death
That's
possible,
also something I haven't.
The experience can be harvested to help create creatures with eternal life. If none of that meant anything to you, strap in, El Chippo. You're in for a crash course. By the end of this thing, you're going to be talking about Fazgoo with the confidence of a pro.
Nice.
Trailers and IMDb, we know that this is going to be the story of Mike Schmidt, a security
Mike
guard
Schmidt.
from FNAF 1, but things are different this time around. Well, this certainly appears to take place in the 1990s like the original FNAF game, considering everyone's using old-school wired telephones. There are no modern cars, and all the monitors are old CRTs. They're also bringing in characters who clearly reference later parts of the franchise.
Yeah, Vanessa.
Specifically Vanessa from Security Breach, a blonde security guard in the game who here appears as a blonde police officer. What I think's going on here from a meta perspective is that the movie's taken a bunch of stories from the game franchise and simplifying them for a general film audience.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Aspects of the games intact. Plus, they're going to be combining ideas and characters from different eras of the franchise to get as many recognizable aspects of FNAF into one film as possible.
Yeah, that's true.
You see the story from the original FNAF interacting with someone new from Security Breach. And you have a girl named Abby mixed in there whose name is literally an anagram of baby, all fighting against an unbroken version of Springtrap. Right there, that is the filmmakers trying to bridge the gap between the different eras of FNAF and bring in as many fans as they can.
Why is that low poly?
The new fans from Security Breach, and also your average Joes who can't tell a Fred Bear from a Ned Bear, let alone a Glam Rock from a rock star. Oh, you have so much
why
to
is he
learn.
like
So
that?
all in all, think of this movie as something that's gonna wipe the slate clean and start fresh,
Yeah.
referencing moments and key characters from the game's books, but not being beholden to
I was
them.
right, there was only 3
Because,
books.
You know, that's not a confusing route to go at all. That said, let's just hope they don't stray too far from the games. Case in point, this detail right here.
What's
During
the
a
detail?
spooky, scary moment in the trailer, Nebraska is spelled out very clearly on a poster in very,
Nebraska?
very bold letters right next to the main character's head. This was an intentional decision definitely put into the trailers to keep
Did I
us
notice
talking.
that?
This means something. Now, the general consensus is that the FNAF games normally take place in Utah. The spin-off book series have made that detail
Yeah, I
quite
remember that.
clear. Could it be then that they've moved the setting to Nebraska for some reason? Maybe, but I don't think so.
I don't know my
It'd be weird
states.
to just have a state poster of the state that you're currently in right above your security desk. My guess is that this poster was put here intentionally by Mike. It's important to him for some reason. My best guess is that it's #goals, an aspirational place to go to help him get out of his current situation. So on the face of it, things don't seem to be going all that great for him.
Or maybe
Looks
it's
to me
where he
like
was
Mike
born.
and his family have fallen on some hard times. First off, we don't see his parents in these trailers at all. Though Mike's father has been cast, I'm gonna guess that he's only here for a flashback scene, considering he doesn't look too much older than Mike's actor Josh Hutcherson. Additionally, we see that Mike and his little sister Abby are living in a small house with an average car, and Mike is looking for any job that he can get.
I was just calling to see if that job that you offered was still available. I will take anything.
We later see Mike bring in Abby along with him while he's working, implying that this is probably their only option. They can't afford a babysitter, and if there were parents at home to take care of Abby, why would he be bringing her to his night
That
shift
is true.
job? So Nebraska might be a symbolic place of freedom for Mike, a place to escape and finally be free. More or less, though, I believe that the setup for the backstory of the FNAF movie is going to align with that of the first game. Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria was a popular arcade and food chain represented by its 4 iconic mascots.
Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, Freddy.
However, they're not the only ones here.
Right.
Seems that some of the children encountered another animatronic, a large yellow bunny rabbit that's separate from the other 4, as we see in a drawing here on the wall from this shop.
That's
this
him.
was a costume used by the owner of the establishment, William Afton, an outfit that he would use to get closer to the kids, which honestly is creepier in a movie than it was in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Just your typical yellow bunny friend holding hands with 5 kids, which, when you're talking in horror movie speak, is code for he killed those kids, stuffed them into suits, and eventually turned them into haunted robots. Also, just to call it out here, I originally thought that there was going to be something hidden in this wall of drawings beyond just the obvious. I mean, it is the perfect spot to sneak in little bits of hidden lore,
there's Balloon
but the
Boy.
lore that we've seen at the wall in other trailers, there doesn't actually seem to be that much of anything here, sadly. And honestly, surprisingly, considering the franchise we're talking about. Speaking of Yellow Bunny,
I don't know,
the
could you
trailers
saving
seem
things
to
for other
convince us that
movies?
the person we expected to play the franchise's big bad isn't actually playing the villain. Despite rumors that he would be playing our resident Urple murder man William Afton, in the trailers, Lillard's character is clearly labeled as Steve Raglan, career counselor. But here's the rub. If there's one thing we've learned here on film theory over the past decade, it's that trailers can be manipulated to create mystery or confuse timelines. See also Morbius and Infinity War.
Morbius.
Just to name 2 key examples. And here, I think we're being presented with the exact same sort of misdirect. In fact, I'm almost 100% confident that I can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. First, Matthew Lillard confirmed that he signed a 3-picture deal to star more than one FNAF movie.
I remember this.
And unless Steve Raglan's a new character that Blumhouse is just really hype about, I expect that deal was to play Afton. However, far more convincingly, we have this scene from the trailer where a young boy is seen getting kidnapped in the middle of the woods. Based on the film's official website, the synopsis reads that Mike is still, quote, haunted by the unsolved disappearance of his younger brother more than decade before. And we know, based on casting, that the brother's name is Garrett. Now, the actor playing this kid Garrett is named Lucas Grant. Hopping over to Instagram, Grant commented on a post by Matthew Lillard saying that it was great to work with him and that he's much nicer than his character. Why would a young actor playing a kidnapped boy have any reason to interact with a career counselor? He wouldn't. The only way they interact is if Matthew Lillard, Steve Raglan, call him whatever you want, was kidnapping that kid. In other words, in this movie, a big final reveal will be that Matthew Lillard kidnapped Mike's brother. This parallels some key moments from the original novel, where William Afton acts under a pseudonym, Dave Miller, and has a perfectly normal, mundane job of security guard for an old abandoned mall, a job that allows him to supervise the comings and goings around Freddy's. That way, when kids start poking around, he's able to hop into the suit, get it, hop, because he's a rabbit, hop into the suit and try to scare him away, just like we see him doing here. And lastly, in the novels, he also kidnaps a kid prior to becoming a crazed serial killer. Honestly, a lot of the details here line up. Now, before we start jumping from video to video to keep tabs on Freddy and the gang with more plot predictions, let's take a moment to thank a service that I bet Mike wishes he had. Our sponsor for this portion of today's video,
let me just
obviously.
Okay, it's a bit longer than I thought it would be.
Last big thank you to Google Meet for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now let's put back on our employee uniforms and head back out to the pizzeria to figure out what exactly is going on in Five Nights at Freddy's. So really, when we look at a lot of the clues coming from these trailers, the story is largely what you'd expect. There's a string of children disappearing from the pizzeria, resulting in Freddy Fazbear's shutting down. Judging from both the kids drawing on the wall and this shot from the trailer, looks like Afton killed 5 children, as we'd expect from the lore of the first game. Our favorite bunny-themed serial killer hid the bodies of the kids inside the animatronic suits, and in so doing trapped their souls inside the robots forever. And we know that they're sticking with that specific part of the lore based on the jump scare here.
Oh yeah, the hand.
It is so good every time I see it. Children's hands popping out of animatronic mouths. Not only is it terrifying, it tells us that he definitely hid the bodies inside there.
Oh yeah.
But now recently, people have been poking around the old abandoned pizzeria. As we see in the most recent trailer, some small-time criminals break in, intent on robbing the place and trashing it up for fun. I believe that that sequence is probably going to be the beginning of the film. These characters breaking in before they're met with a terrible fate. The possessed animatronics come to life and kill them as they're mid-crime, not only showing the audience early on that these things are terrifying, but also creating a giant problem for Afton, who now risks having more people poking around his old murder den. Hoping to prevent future break-ins and deeply uncomfortable questions about his past, Afton decides to hire a security guard to keep an eye on the place during
this is exactly what I said.
First option doesn't exactly work out all that well, but not to be deterred, our plucky
that guy, I forgot about him.
Tries again, find someone who'll keep the building safe. Enter our main character of the movie, Mike Schmidt. Mike will do anything for cash. Based on these 2 shots from
this guy.
Here, we know that Mike has a history of working as a security guard.
He beat him up.
Likely he got carried away in a previous role, resulting in him getting fired. Desperate for cash and with no one willing to hire him, Mike takes a job as the night shift security guard at Freddy Fazbear's, bringing his sister Abby with him. Seems like things aren't too strange starting off. Though it's certainly creepy, they explore the pizzeria without much of an issue. Until, of course, there's a knock at the front door. Mike goes out and meets Vanessa, a police officer with a strange interest in the building. In fact, she seems to know a lot about Freddy's.
In the 80s, kids went missing. The police searched Freddy's top to bottom. They never found them. That's why the place shut down.
Looks like somebody watched our complete timeline. Soon, as creepy occurrences start happening all across the pizzeria, Mike realizes what he's gotten himself into.
There are ghost children possessing giant robots. Thanks for the heads up.
And here's where the stakes get higher. Obviously, the animatronics are going to pose a danger to both Mike and Vanessa, but their well-being isn't going to be the only thing on
it's
the line
Abby
during
too.
this movie. Throughout the trailers, we see shots of Abby going off to explore the pizzeria alone and ultimately hiding from Foxy in the ball pit. Let's just hope that she doesn't time travel. In all seriousness, though, somehow Abby will befriend the animatronics. Especially the leader, Golden Fredbear, a character that you'll notice never appears anywhere except for in shots with her. Why does she befriend them? Or rather, why do the animatronics choose to befriend Abby? Well,
what do they want?
They want to make her like them.
Yep, the animatronics want to add another member to their ranks, and that is going to be the big driving factor for this movie. Mike and Vanessa are going to rush to try to solve the mystery of the kids' disappearance and put their spirits to rest, hopefully with plenty of time to save Abby. The scenes where we see Mike interacting with the kids outside the pizzeria, I believe that this is where Mike is trying to put the pieces together and is speaking to the spirits in something like his dream. Of course, William Afton does not want this to happen and has to get himself physically involved, disguising himself in his old Springtrap costume and chasing Mike and Vanessa around in an an attempt to silence them in the big, scary action set pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Afton will likely capture and injure Vanessa at some point, considering that we see a yellow rabbit hand grabbing Vanessa's neck here, and Mike sitting by Vanessa in the hospital looking concerned. So that's the main setup for what I see happening in the movie, but what about the big twist? There's always got to be some sort of a big twist in FNAF. Well, I believe that it comes with the identity of some of the spirits. See, we actually get a pretty good idea of which spirits possess which animatronic bodies from this shot in the trailers. It's pretty obviously telegraphed. Bunny ear kid is Bonnie, redhead with pirate claw is Foxy, the girl wearing all yellow is Chica, and the boy with the top hat is Freddy. As for the last kid though, well, the obvious thought was that he was going to become the mysterious Golden Freddy. I think that's what I and everyone else assumed.
What was his name? Cassidy?
Trailer. But now, I'm not so sure. The fact that this fifth child in the shot doesn't have a characteristic explicitly linking him to an animatronic has to be intentional. And I believe that it was the filmmakers keeping things ambiguous so we wouldn't guess their twist. I suspect that the fifth kid here isn't Golden Freddy. Instead, I think it might be the Cupcake. Yeah, I know. It sounds ridiculous, but hear me out on this one. In the latest trailer, we clearly see Cupcake moving around independently and attacking someone without Chica's help.
Yeah.
Gut thought to this? Well, that's kind of stupid, to be honest. Like, does Chica's soul transfer down into the Cupcake alone for remote attacks, leaving Chica soulless for a while now? Or can a spirit divide itself and act on different parts of the character?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Sure. I don't have a good answer for it, but I do think that this would open up an incredibly dark and compelling twist on Golden Freddy.
Really?
Remember, these 5 kids who disappeared at Freddy Fazbear's in the shot aren't the only kids that have gone missing in the story. We still have ourselves Mike's missing brother, Garrett, who we talked about earlier as the kid in the back of the car.
Airplane.
Carted away by old Billy Afton up in front. I mean, in this franchise, it would be shocking if someone kidnapping a child wasn't William Afton. Anyway, why do I think that this is actually the moment that we see Mike's brother get kidnapped? Well, again, we turn to actor Lucas Grant and Instagram, where we see this post.
Oh, they're spoiling for sure.
Child actor named Wyatt Parker. Parker even calls Grant his best bro. An interesting choice of words, considering that Parker was cast in the film as young Mike. 2 twin brothers, one who gets kidnapped. Almost a one-for-one replica of what we see happen in the Silver Eyes novel. So let me ask you, what if Mike's brother is Golden Freddy? Separate from the tragedy at the
that would be cool.
We can assume that Mike's brother was kidnapped in one of the earlier parts of the timeline, a time when Golden Freddy would still be in use. And in the games, we've long theorized that Mike Schmidt is in fact Mike Afton, son of William Afton. This would also mean that his little brother was the crying child who was killed and became one of the spirits that possessed Golden Freddy. Given the fact that Mike's father's been cast and is distinctly not being played by Matthew Lillard, I don't think that's the exact direction that they're taking for the movie, but taking the core of that story, keeping Mike's brother as Golden Freddy, well, that would fit with both the timeline and serve as a devastating twist to the casual audience. It would also explain why Abby is spending so much time with Golden Freddy in the trailers. It's her spending time with a brother that she never got to know, whether she realizes it or not. It could also explain why Golden Freddy retains blue eyes when all the other animatronics
the Sands.
are red ones. The circumstances of his possession are just a little bit different, and he's interacting with a family member. So Afton attacks Mike and Vanessa for getting too close to his secrets, and despite fighting back, they ultimately lose. As they're about to die, Abby is able to win over the animatronics and use them to fight back against Afton, saving them all. You'll notice one of the oddities of the trailer is the design of Springtrap. It is different from what we see in the games. It's cleaner and it's more put together. It has not gone through all the rotten decay that we'd expect from this character. I believe that's exactly how it ends. Mike, Abby, Vanessa, and the animatronics defeat Afton by trapping him in the walls. Tying a bow on the end of this movie, while still leaving him in a position to turn into the decayed, rotten corpse that we all know and love for the eventual sequel. All things can't end happily here. I believe there's a good chance that the animatronics are going to wind up getting what they want out of Abby in the end. Her name is an anagram of baby, after all. An animatronic that first appeared in FNAF's sister location. The team celebrates the defeat of Afton, only for Abby to accidentally stumble into a clown outfit, or maybe get put there by a vengeful Golden Freddy, giving us our villain and the problem to solve in the eventual second movie, saving the girl from her eternal, ceaseless torment. Or maybe that ceaseless torment is just meant for me, who is now tasked with trying to solve the timeline of this franchise across multiple channels. Truly, the animatronics have taken another victim. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cuts.
And cuts. Okay, wow, that was... Okay, I just wanted to play. Alright, okay. So, yeah, wow, he made some really good points. Very interesting, like, you know, very interesting, things that he brought up, which, you know, there was a lot of, you know, evidence for that. It wasn't purely, you know, speculation. I mean, a little bit, especially at the end, was all that, you know, with Abby might be becoming baby, but they have to save her, which, you know, I don't want I don't want any of them to die. They have like, it's like, you know, I just want them to all be happy and get away from this place. It's like, it's just like, you know, I want them all to obviously defeat William Afton. I feel like maybe one of the animatronics will die. Not like die, but like one of them will get destroyed. I'm not sure which ones. Maybe it might be Foxy. It might be, you know, one of them. Because, you know, it would be different. It would be something we haven't seen before in the games. Like, sure, we've seen, you know, the mini games. We've seen broken parts and such, you know, like little bits here and there. But we've never seen like them actually being destroyed via in the games. Seeing them this way after we get to know them, you know, like after we know them in the movie and see what they do, it would be kind of emotional, you know? Like imagine seeing Freddy getting torn apart by Spring Donnie, Matthew Lillard, Shaggy Herbal Man. It would be crazy, and also, you know, depending how they do it, it could be sad. It could be just like, it could be just like Roxy and Ruin, how when she got deactivated, and or also, well, she lived, but also probably possibly torn apart by the Mimic. It would be sad, like just like that. Or they could be sad with Abby too, or Vanessa, or somebody. I don't want anything like that to happen. I mean, yeah, it could happen, but I don't want it to be sad. So, yeah, he got through some really good points. Also, like, bringing up some of the actors' Instagrams or, like, social media posts that are totally... I don't know if they obviously were spoiling the movie, dude. Like, yeah, big bro, working with this guy. Oh, he's a lot nicer in character. That's just, you know, I don't blame it at all. They're kids, man. They're kid actors. They're excited to be a part of this FNAF movie that everyone's been... When did he bring up the dates? Hold on. Let me check this out. It was like, okay, after over 8 years. It was, okay, April 7th, 2015. Yeah. That's how long we've been waiting, dude. April 7th, 2015. Wow, dude, wow. It's been so long. And now it's literally almost here, like a month away. And I cannot wait to watch. So, yeah, I guess I don't have much to add to that. It makes sense about the cupcake thing, though. Like, you know, maybe there's other spirits wandering around in the place, but don't have a place to go because, you know, there's no more suits around. There's no more... Well, there's that endoskeleton, I think. But... But, you know, the cupcake one makes sense, you know, like, there's a kid inside the cupcake, and that's what makes the cupcake evil. Plus, you know, the glowing eyes, the way he's giving an angry smirch at your face, and, well, biting the face off of that one guy. It makes sense, really. So, yeah, I guess I don't have much to add on to that. So he brought really good points. He presented his evidence, all that. He came to a very interesting conclusion at the end with, you know, what possibility is for the sequel. I've said before, but it makes sense to me. The sequel would be about, I don't know, they could do that. They could make Baby a toy animatronic, right? And still have the toy and the Withers for the second movie. And then in the third movie, they could either go to the Pizzaplex or just a whole new pizzeria area with, you know, Springtrap being the big bad, the big man of that final trilogy, is what they say. Unless, you know, they make a fourth movie and he isn't there anymore. It's a possibility. But who knows? So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say, really. This was a great video. This was very interesting. Not too many leaps in logic, as most people probably would say. But no, I never really, like, you know, I've watched his videos, I enjoyed them. They're mostly for entertainment, you know, and also presenting it's just a theory line, because, you know, at the end of the day, they are just little theories that he makes in his head. And, you know, they're always nice to listen to, I think. Anyway, that's just how I feel. Of course, go watch his video if you want to see more of them, whoever else works on their videos. I'm just a reactionary person. I own myself. I own my PNG tuber right there. I own this Freddy plush on my head. Honk. And I own my voice. So, say no to AI. And have a good day. My name is Anday, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.